Good luck.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Game Addicts Podcast, the show where we talk about the modern retro video games that we play and collect. I'm your host Brando, and this is our podcast player 2, Mike.
Hey, bro.
How's it going?
It's going good.
So to start off this week's show, we always got to ask, I'm going to send it to our resident Game Addicts meteorologist, Mike. How's the weather today?
The weather is...
You're a meteorologist. You shouldn't have to look it up.
My meteorology skills is... I have it all set up right here. It is a whopping 54 degrees, but it has stopped raining.
It is sunlight, and we don't have the light set up this week because the sun's shining right into my game room. Hopefully, I mean, I've shot videos like this in the past. The video stuff is not meant to be professional grade by any means. This is just so you can see our beautiful faces, and maybe you'll be able to see the stuff that we buy and stuff like that. Speaking of, we're on YouTube, so
yes.
You know, if you are listening to this podcast either on your phone or on the go or on the computer, wherever you digest your podcast, because we're all on there on the iTunes. You
I left keys in frame.
We're not prepared to start this podcast
no.
because this podcast is available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Podbean, Google Play Music, and we're on YouTube. Just search Game Addicts Podcast. We're on all the social medias. I've been a little bit more active on Twitter, trying to build up the Twitter base, trying to do stuff, and trying to increase the listen base. Because guess what? This is episode 30.
Oh.
We started this show just over a year ago.
Yes.
You know, it was a once to twice a month thing that we did through the Journey to Comics podcast that we started over there, and then in January we sort of birthed anew.
Yes.
We moved into the garage, or in the room above the garage, I think we said.
Yes, I believe so.
And so we're out there playing games and doing podcasts on our own, and that's why we're here today, is to do another one, because today we got some news to talk about, we got some news and views, we got some new pickups. My lone one sitting in front of me today. I'm just going to get started. I got one lone pickup. Last week I had a Gamecast controller, and it was a red one. Well, I went back, and I got the blue one. Okay. They had a yellow one and a white one.
I believe that you said that you were thinking about going back on the podcast and saying, I think I'm going to go back and get the blue one.
I do. Because they were only $10 a piece. And these, as I opened on the last one, I haven't even opened this one. This one's a different box. This one's a different box. You can see it over there.
Yeah.
That one is more of like...
The rainbow color and the original style.
Well, like, they have like the little, like, the box art for like the game stuff. This one is lacking that. It's different. And of course it has a little... a blue sticker here to let you know what color it is. They had yellow, they had white, the regular white controllers there in the box as well.
I got a question. Does that box say the Ultimate Gaming System on it? I don't see it.
It doesn't.
That's cool.
Like that was.
I wonder if this is like a second gen.
It may have been. It may have been later on. I don't see any, like. Usually, if you see like copyright,
Ultimate Control, it just cracks me up. Like those things are pretty blocky. They were hard to.
Of course, we have
still in the plastic. Still got plastic, the foam on it.
Still just like the other one.
You got to pull it out and smell it. You got to. It's mandatory.
Oh wait, this way.
Yep. Don't pull it all the way out. Last time we had trouble.
All right, smell it.
Smell it.
Sweet cancer.
Sweet plastic.
Anyway, I do want to take it all the way off because actually I already own an out of the box blue one. I got it when I got my Dreamcast, the day I got my Dreamcast, and the stick on that one feels stiff. I did try to open it up because back then, when I was just building my collection and I was getting controllers, I was opening up and cleaning them.
Right.
And I did it with this one too. This one is a little tricky. The Dreamcast controller is not the easiest controller to get into and clean. You can open it pretty easy, but there's a lot, like, the stick mechanic here is not like any of the other sticks. It's a little bit more like the 64 stick, kind of, in its mechanics. And I tried to make it to where it was like a little looser, and I don't think I succeeded on that one. And so that's the main reason why I went back and got the brand new blue one. because blue is like one of my favorite colors.
Right.
It really is. And so like anything, if I have any controller, the PS4 controller, I have a blue one.
Right. I'm still on a red one. I need a red one.
My PS3 controller, my favorite controller, is blue.
Blue.
I bought the black Xbox 360 controller, and then like 2 months after I bought that, they released a chrome.
Oh, I remember
one.
that.
I was pissed.
You're pissed.
Yeah. So, I really like blue controllers. I like to have the original colored controllers for the most part.
Right.
Of course, I don't have that for the Xbox 360 because of the special edition system. I have the C3PO controller.
Well, yeah, that's understandable. But you can always buy a...
I can get... Let's see, and I don't really like that controller. That's the problem. I don't like that controller. I hate the D-pad on that controller.
Yeah.
Because on the ones they release later, you can move, you can rotate the D-pad to get a little bit better precision on there.
I definitely love that.
But the Dreamcast controller, for me, it's like in the middle. I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
Right.
What I mean by that is like the design feels good. It's actually a pretty comfortable controller to hold, but it has all this madness going on right
Yeah.
now. And then it only has 2 triggers. It has no other shoulder buttons. It has 4 face buttons and 1 start button. So games that are ported to the PlayStation or PS2, they are oftentimes just like the GameCube. I had the same problem with this. Since it has less buttons. Like the button mapping for the controllers are just sometimes a little funky.
Yeah, yeah. And that was back before you were allowed to map your own. Like, very few games were letting you map your own.
Yeah. That was my lone pickup. And that's funny, and I went first because this guy, he had a monster of a pickup. And it's pretty cool because it kind of brings me back to when I made a couple of deals, big deals, kind of like this. Where I had I think I've talked about it here on the show, where I had my big NES deal,
right.
Where I'd have Veronica from the Foodies Watching Movies podcast on the JIC network over there. I bought some games off of her, and I needed an NES, so I bought the top loader,
right.
And paid too much for it, but I needed one, and then 2 weeks later I got a deal for an NES for $60 with 29 games. I'm just like, I'm looking at the games in the picture, going, I see 5 here, and that has covered the total cost.
Right.
And all the rest of it's like I could sell them all. I'm like, but I only have 5 of these.
Right.
And those weren't. Some of those were the ones that mattered up to the price. But you made a similar deal. Now, you did this on Facebook Marketplace?
I did, and on the buy trade.
Okay.
So,
I just smacked my microphone.
It's gonna come up.
Probably.
But yes, I did this. I had a previous deal, which was my gem that I'm very upset about. And it's partially my fault when I really think about it, because she did ask me to come that night.
Yeah.
I'm assuming she had somebody else lined up, but she said, 9 o'clock. And it's like a 45-minute drive. And we work. I mean, I get up at 4:40. So for me to drive 45 minutes and then come back, it'd be 10:30 by the time I actually was moseying into bed.
I'd have done it.
I should have. I regret it.
Because that deal was a Halo edition.
OG Halo.
OG Xbox for $40.
Which retail...
That's like half the price.
Yeah, they're going for about 80, 90 used, and it was in mint condition.
Yeah. I mean, it looked really good when you sent me the picture.
It's my own fault. I still kick myself for it.
See the picture, cause I don't remember the picture, but I have it on here, but I want to make sure. Did it have the green controller with it?
Yes. It had the other green controller with it. Look, right here, I got it.
Oh.
So, it had that one.
So it has the Duke and it has the.
It has the Duke and it has the Halo, and it says right on it.
Oh wait,
Halo.
wait, that's not a Duke. That's a Mad Catz.
Is it a Mad Catz?
Look closely at the logo. You will be able to see it. It is a third party, I think. No, wait.
It's a Duke's.
Is it just a regular Xbox logo? Man, that looks awfully like a Mad Catz logo from because the controller's like sitting like on its like leaning back.
Right.
Because the S controller, that is the Halo controller that comes with the system.
Yes, and that's very important with that system. But it's in excellent condition. She said it worked. It came with a game. I'm assuming it's the game that came with it. But yeah, that was my own fault. But I did good with this one. I was pretty happy about this pick up. So we'll just go ahead and dive in here.
We will.
We'll go through the system and stuff first because we'll chit-chat about the games, I'm sure. Because I haven't owned any of these ever, other than one or two of the games.
Which we haven't even mentioned what the system is yet.
So I bought a PS2 bundle. The lady was selling it for $45, and I was like, how about $40? Just trying to start some conversation, and she's like, sure, when can you pick it up? And I was like, tomorrow. And she was nice enough to hold it for me, which a lot of people don't do that, but she was like, you already said you would buy it.
Well, some people will. If you have committed and you're like, I'll do it, but I want to meet tomorrow, most people will do that.
And that's what I told that lady. I was like, look, she's like, can you meet at 9? I'm like, no, I got to get up early. I'm committed to this. I want it. Let's do it tomorrow. Let's set a time. She goes, yeah, I got all the time tomorrow. And then she never replied back any of my messages.
That was the Xbox.
That was the Xbox. Yeah. And then I last message I sent her said, hey, really want to know when we can meet up. I'm not too far away. And I was like, oh, let me look at that again. And when I looked at it again, she had changed the thing to sold. And I was upset.
Oh, that kind of sucks because she should have said instead of just like not replying to you.
She's seen every one, and she wasn't nice enough to say, "I'm sorry, I sold it to somebody else."
Yeah.
That's all you had to say is, "I'm sorry, but somebody else came and picked it up that night," and I would have no hard feelings. But come on.
Right, so what you drinking today, pal?
I have Milo sweet tea.
I have Mountain Dew. USA,
which is phenomenal.
It is Code Red, Whiteout, and Voltage. A whole phenomenal swig of patriotic goodness, and it tastes exactly like a bomb pop. The old ice
awesome.
Cream. It is like crazy. I just wanted to give that a plug because I bought it. I bought one because Calvin went crazy for it when he saw it on.
Really?
He saw the picture online. A guy, Calvin's a guy we work with, and. He likes the bomb pops. He goes, if it tastes like that, I'm in trouble. He goes, because he doesn't drink soda.
Right.
And he's like, I haven't had a Mountain Dew in 15 years. He's like,
Did he get one?
I gave him one.
Yeah. And what did he do?
He loved it.
He went nuts.
he loved it. I think that's really all he wanted was to just try it.
Right.
To see if it really did taste like that. But it was funny because we went grocery shopping last week and we got our soda for the week and then came back in. We were going to leave and I saw it sitting there. I'm like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put it right in the cart. I'm like,
I don't blame you.
Picture snap. I'm like, let's try this. And I was like, when you buy a 12-pack, you're afraid you're not gonna like it. You buy a whole 12-pack.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy a 12-pack of it and see what the wifey thinks.
And so I bought it and was like, ooh, yummy. And then Caitlin liked it. And just to plug this real quick, only 100 calories per can.
It's better than an original Mountain Dew. Read it off real quick. Just real
100
quick.
calories, 27 grams of sugar. I had a Code Red not too long ago, and it has 56 grams of sugar. And so it's almost kind of like not quite a diet Dew, not quite a full Dew.
Just the right Dew.
USA. All right.
USA.
So let's dive into this PlayStation 2. Let's look at this because you have a whole box.
I have a whole box. It's quite a few. I haven't counted yet, but
we will.
We'll start with the system. So now, granted, if you can see this,
nothing has been cleaned yet.
Nothing has been cleaned yet. I picked it up
yesterday. Those paw prints?
I'm pretty sure that they are.
Oh.
So I'm assuming that what happened is that the person that I purchased this off of. They had it in storage.
Probably.
Because their sibling played a lot of it. And you can tell there's quite a few games. And one of the ones in there is Madden 2010. So this guy was rocking it. Or this person was rocking it for 2009.
PS2 went they got all the sports games
they did.
Until 2012.
Yeah, something like that. So the system, it's not scratched. I mean, it's not really scratched up. It's just like it's been in storage. So
you can clean that up really nicely with some furniture polish.
Right, and then it came with a 8 megabyte original PS2.
Oh, a whopping 8 megabytes.
Whopping 8 megs, baby. So I'm not setting this on the table because it'll take up.
Oh no, dude, just
you want to lay it out? All right,
just leave it. Just leave it right here.
Okay, so we're gonna start with the controllers because he had 5 controllers. And let's just say they've definitely seen some playtime. So this one here
is a regular black controller.
Probably one of the original ones.
Yeah.
Then we've got one of the blue ones.
I like the blue ones.
I like the blue one.
I have one of those.
And it's in really good... The blue one's actually in really good condition.
That's my whole blue controller fascination. I actually have a green one, too.
And it's in really good condition. And we've got another black one here that... This was probably the original. So, I'm going to unwrap this one. Actually, it's pretty rough.
This is like down and gritty Game Hunter gaming.
Yeah.
Game.
So...
Oh my god, look at that stick. That looks like a Walmart controller.
The stick is stuck forward. So like...
Oh, now stuck down.
Now stuck down.
Oh, now stuck that way.
So if I spin it around... Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then one's missing a thumbstick.
That looks so much like the controllers you see at the Walmart kiosk.
Yeah.
And then I've seen controllers like that at Goodwill too.
Ooh. The dust flying off that baby.
Oh yeah, man.
Then there is this thing. I don't even know what... I've never seen one of these before. It is a...
Who made it?
Is it a Game Con?
You gotta wipe the dust off to see.
It's a Game On. Game On. Controller.
Game On.
Game On. And I just want to point this out. This thumbstick that doesn't work at all. These thumbsticks are significantly smaller.
They do look it. I mean, they look small.
Yeah.
They do have like the more...
It's the turbo. It has the turbo, the clear.
Yeah, that's a...
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they actually made only a couple brands, an official wireless controller for the PS2. I think there's a Mad Catz one that's really good. That gets a lot of good reviews. And then I think Sony did one licensed through somebody. I don't remember who it was, though.
So here we have, and I'm not undoing this, the GameStop controller. Now, have you ever owned one of these? They're pretty flat. Like it actually is not terrible from what I expected to feel from it.
Feels cheap.
Yeah, it's definitely cheap. Definitely cheap. But so there's the controller. So 5 controllers, and I would say 3 of them are unusable. Maybe I can combine them to make one.
Maybe.
With our powers combined.
Definitely the blue one. You want to clean that up and see how that cleans up.
The blue one and this black one will probably be good, but the blue one definitely is playable.
It's not too hard to find PS2 controllers either.
No. I already have 2.
Oh, well, that's
so I'm hoping if 2 of those work, that gives me 4, get a multi-tap.
Sure.
And I'm done. Okay,
so you got some games out of the case.
I got some games out of the case first. So this is Arctic Thunder. I will try, and that's actually a blue disc.
Yeah, that's a CD-ROM.
CD-ROM. And 007 Agent Under Fire.
I love how they're like it's 007, it's James Bond. I just heard my kid make a really weird noise. But like they don't want to use Pierce Bronson's likeness, so they just shadow him out.
They shadow him out, but it's still it's still
it's
Pierce
him.
Bronson. Yeah. And then Sprint Cars Road to Knoxville. Probably will never get played, but
hey, actually, it's really cool to sit down and play some really bad games. This was made by Big Ant Studios.
Then we have Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks.
Played that one.
It's a decent one.
It's different. That one's different because I want to say that's the one that was like you played as Liu Kang or Kung Lao.
It's the story one. It's like very story driven. Yeah, and then so this one I chuckled at when I looked at it. Robin Hood, Defender of the Crown. Never have I ever heard of this game. Capcom and Cinemaware. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out whenever.
Looks like this dude. This dude was.
He didn't have a preference because when we go through these games, you will notice that they're all over the place. It's not like I'm into racing. He's into racing. You can tell because there's probably 10 games, and then he's into sports. There's probably 8 to 10 games of sports, and then there's just a slew of
random all.
So we'll start from the top. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2.
That's a good game.
Full. Complete.
That is complete. That is a good game. I remember reading that.
It is.
I own it. I think. I might own that on GameCube. Actually.
Yeah. Then we've got Madden 08. Complete.
With a black and white manual.
Yeah.
They were getting cheap on that before they got rid of manuals.
Yeah, and it's actually
pretty thin.
It really shows like controllers.
It's the bare minimum.
And it actually, if you look, it only shows the slim model backing.
By that point, it was, so that's 08. That would have been 07.
Yep.
This got released in like 2005 or 6.
5.
So by that point, they were just showing that instead.
Madden 04. Complete with a color manual, with a thick color manual.
I like how like they have like
Madden 04.
A dude has like a white and red,
and blue
and jersey, and then this one over here is like the reverse.
This is the home one, and this is the away.
Is that the game model on the actual game?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the actual cover person. Who's on the cover? Do you know?
Number 7 for the Falcons, is that the guy who got in trouble for dogfighting?
Was it?
I don't know.
Dude, you're I'm not a very sportsy guy.
I'm not either. But we're gonna keep rolling to these. NBA 09. The Inside. Complete with even the subscription. Wait a minute.
To Vibe
Magazine. Oh yeah.
And that's a PS2 exclusive because it was made by Sony themselves.
It is, and it says right there, Sony.
That's back when they still made those. Yeah.
We're gonna save that one. We're gonna save those.
Okay.
For one big thing, because those were the most important portion to me. Tiger Woods 03. You know, I used to play the crap out of Tiger Woods golf with my dad. It was just something we liked to do. It was fun. You could be ridiculous with it. Complete. All these discs are in to be expected condition. I mean, they're not super scratched. Some of them are pretty scratched, like these loose ones are scratched, but that's in really good condition. If you take them
to somebody, they can buff them.
Yeah. And we know a guy. We know a guy.
Yeah.
MLB The Show 07. Now these are probably some of the best baseball games.
Yes.
The Show.
I agree.
For sure, these are the best baseball games that you can buy for any system.
Dude, you have no idea. For the past 2 or 3 years, around springtime, I see the new one come out, and I see the pictures and the trailer.
Amazing.
Dude, I'm like sitting here biting my nails, going, I shouldn't buy it. Because I'm gonna play it for like a month, and then I'm gonna be like, done with it. You know. And see, because I've almost splurged and went and bought some of the ones that are out for Vita, so I could take it with me.
Right.
And then I'm just like,
sorry.
I'm still sitting there, and every time we go to replay, they have a couple of them, and I'm like,
right.
And why? But it's just because, like, I'm not, as I said, I'm not a sports guy, but I used to follow the hell out of baseball in the 90s.
Right.
And that's something me and my dad kind of bonded over, kind of like you said with the with the golf thing. You used to play golf. Me and my dad used to be sit and watch talk baseball.
Yeah. And
so like playing baseball games are some of the only really sports games. I used to play some of the NFL 2K games, and I would play them for like a week, 2 weeks, and I play the franchise mode, and I'd just be unstoppable, and then I would get tired of it. Baseball is one that I could play, but easily get frustrated at because I would just like keep losing.
Right. All right. So then we've got a
stack of.
No, we're gonna keep going. MVP baseball, 2004.
EA Sports.
EA Sports. And this is okay. So this is funny here. I'm gonna read the back of these. In 2004, 2003, yeah. EA was the number one selling pro baseball franchise. Well,
a couple years later, number one selling baseball franchise for PlayStation 2 in 06 is bigger, better, and back for 07 season. And actually now the show for modern consoles is the only baseball game out there.
2K Sports, Major League Baseball, 2K7. Oh, well, hey, I should probably open it up and say, Is it complete? No, this one's not.
No.
No manual.
But you got 07 to show, 2K7. So those two were like direct competitors, and he had both.
Yep.
He liked his baseball.
I think he just liked games.
That could be.
I don't mind. I don't. It doesn't hurt me. 98.9 Sports.
989 Sports.
989.
989.
I like the way I said that.
98. NBA Shootout. That was a series that.
So.
That was Sony, and so that got turned into The Inside.
Right.
Later on, that we saw.
I like the online, broadband, and dial-up. That's what gets me. All right. So going to one of the specific reasons why I purchased this. I don't have any Grand Theft Auto owned. I currently do not own any. Now I own all of them for PS2. Grand Theft Auto 3. Not complete.
Not complete.
But I'm not upset. Do it in order here. Vice City.
Didn't feel like it's complete.
Nope, it's not. I bet you know what? Let's look at the condition of these discs, because I bet these games got the crap played out of them. Because most people that own this game play the crap out of it. Oh yeah. That got played.
It definitely got played.
Vice City. Oh. That one you can tell where he was at because it's got a ring.
Oh, yeah.
He must have spent a lot of time wherever that was.
Strip club.
Strip club. And San Andreas. Now, this is the first Grand Theft Auto I had ever played. And I loved it, but I hated it. So I just would go to the military base out in the desert and steal a plane. That's all I ever wanted to do. I just run around and see how long I can survive, blow crap up. That's all I really cared about.
See, when you're playing with friends...
Not complete.
Not complete. When you're playing with friends, that's like part of the fun.
This was the better one of the three that we've had. Doesn't have the groove. I had to stop because
my toddler is in the mode of just shouting random gibberish. So for people who are listening or watching, yeah, I mean he sometimes makes appearances here on the show.
Yes.
But especially when we're at my house. But yeah, just be prepared to hear like sometimes if you're just watching on YouTube, you'll see me randomly just do this because that means I hear something that makes me go, yeah. What is he doing?
So we've got episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
You dropped it.
I did. It is complete.
I remember Nate had that over in my co-host on Journey to Comics. He had that game.
So this, I played the first Pac-Man World, and I enjoyed it. This is Pac-Man World 2. And it's in pretty rough condition.
Well, it wasn't even in the case, really.
Well, it doesn't stay because it's broke. Well,
that may be why the...
The funny thing is that
that's a GameStop case, isn't it?
Yes.
$9.99?
$9.99 when this was purchased. Doesn't have a date, does it?
No.
0220. Yeah, it does. 02/26/09.
09?
At the top. That's a date.
I didn't realize that.
We might have to look at that and see if that's for sure. But yeah, it's pretty rough case. It's okay. I never purchased.
Realized that they had dates on this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the older because.
Yeah, the older ones. The newer ones. Here's the power up one, and it does not, actually it does. 02/2012, right there.
He bought this in 2012.
Well, you have to read what game it is. Okay.
Wait.
It's not.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
All right. So, we have The Simpsons Road Rage, fun game. I like this game. I played it. It's a good game.
Is that the racer one?
Yes.
Yeah, because they made a GTA Simpsons game.
I believe
it wasn't this one though.
This is the racer. This is the one that's. I think it's like Mario Kart.
Or is it like Mario Kart, or is it like Twisted Metal?
And the cars into
know.
cab. No, this is the first cabbie one. And now Springfieldians must turn their cars into cabs and make enough money
It's
to
like
buy
Crazy
back the bus.
Taxi.
Yep, it's like the
Crazy.
Crazy Taxi. I remember playing it.
What was the Simpsons game that was like Grand Theft Auto?
I don't know, but this is the Simpsons game that looks like Grand Theft Auto style. The Simpsons pitch, man, eat. Simpsons. And you can do co-op at any time with this. Huh. I was hoping to see if it would say that it was open world or anything. No manual, but that's okay.
List of the Simpsons video games. I want to find that. I don't remember that game.
This is one that I've never seen before. Thrillville.
So is that kind of like an amusement?
It looks like the amusement park simulator. It looks like you could do a Thrillville play in an amusement park that you design. So you design and you can play in it. So that's pretty neat. Not complete. That's okay. And this is weird. It's just like folded on the inside. And it's the original.
It probably just got turned like that.
Yeah, and that's the way it stayed.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, because check this out. Take this out. Like, you see that? It's like, it looks like a little less faded. Not much, but.
Oh, we'll let you do it. Now.
This was made by LucasArts.
Mm-hmm.
Or released by LucasArts.
Mortal Kombat Armageddon. I liked this game a lot.
I don't think I ever played it.
Was this the one that was the first real three-dimensional fighting ring where you could dodge side to side other than front to back?
I think 4 did that on 64.
Maybe.
And PS1. So,
This is the one that you create a fatality system. With the all-new creative fatality system.
The Simpsons game that is like GTA is called Hit and Run.
Oh, yeah. TY2, Type 2, the Tasmanian Tiger Bush Rescue. Yeah.
The Bush Rescue. Okay.
Yeah. And it looks like, what are those supposed to be? Are they supposed to be like lizards? Like the geckos that have the... I don't know.
Oh, of course, since it's Tasmanian, you can use boomerangs. 21 different boomerangs, including the Lasherang, Smasherang, and Megarang. Oh, take on friends in 7 levels of split-screen kart racing action. Has a kart racer built in.
Huh. That might actually be a fun game. We'll try it one day. Maybe when we get our capture device, we'll try it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Justice League Heroes. So this looks cool.
Is it a fighting game?
It's like a fighting game. You can use the environment to kill your opponents, basically.
Interesting that like we're talking about a fighting game for DC because Injustice 2 is going to come out.
Yeah. There's Mightiest Alliance. Join the legendary Justice League in their quest to defeat the evil intended to destroy the world and the living nightmare. I mean, it looks like a fighter, but it looks like it's like a co-op fighter, kind of like the old...
Maybe this is like the X-Men Mutant... Or X-Men...
I wasn't going to say...
Legends.
I was going to say like...
like a dungeon crawler?
Like Alliance. The Marvel Alliance.
That's the same.
Yeah.
The X-Men Legends games came before that.
Right.
But
then we got SpongeBob, the movie. SpongeBob SquarePants, the movie. Video game. Which actually, when you look at the graphics on this, it looks really good for a PS2.
Yeah, I mean...
Really good.
All right. Before you go on with that, I read something here.
Okay.
All right. So, join forces with the world's most powerful superheroes, including Superman, Batman, Flash, and more. Fight solo or team up with a friend for co-op mayhem against vicious enemies and infamous supervillains. Customize and upgrade your superhero team using role-playing power or role-playing style boost system from game developer Snowblind Studios. Embark on an adventure crafted by the developer of the Champions of Norath series.
Oh my goodness! So this is a dungeon crawler style.
This is dungeon crawlers. Yeah.
Oh, you know who's gonna go crazy over that? Silent Rob.
I honestly, we do have a multi-tap.
We might have to try this out.
We may have to try this out with Silent Rob. So that'll be.
That's pretty cool. So this is a game that I actually want to try out. Hot Wheels Stunt Track Challenge. It's complete. I mean, it is what it says. Nothing else to be said.
Hot Wheels games are fun.
They are. They are very fun. Now we're getting into the Call of Duty. So I got go the right way. Call of Duty 2, Big Red 1. Online broadband only.
No dial up there.
No dial up there. Call of Duty World at War.
Final Frontier.
This was I played this on the computer, and the online play was pretty fun. But yeah, and didn't they just remake this one? Was that the one that when you got the Call of Duty Special Edition one, that's the only way you could get Call of Duty World at War?
That was 4. That was Modern Warfare.
Yep.
Because it was Infinite Warfare, and if you got the bundle,
you're correct.
You could only that's the only way that you can get it.
Motocross Mania 3, complete. You can tell by the weight. So this is like Road Rash, and yeah,
developed by or published by 2K.
Yep. Debias Studios.
A lot of these studios probably still are probably not around or called something completely different now.
Yeah, we'll leave those for later. Madden NFL 10.
Interesting.
Still rocking it.
Yeah, man.
ATV Off-Road Fury. This is a must-have for this system. This game was great.
I've got 3 of them.
It's great. I think I might have all 3 myself.
And honestly, I think there are at least 4 of them. And then I was only going to get the first 2, and I ended up finding the third one somewhere pretty cheap.
So, RTX Red Rock. Never, ever have I heard of this game. But it looks like it could be cool. 21-3 AD. Mars needs you. It's a Blockbuster Inc. It was published by LucasArts.
Blockbuster Inc.
That's what it says on the Blockbuster Inc.
Oh, that's just the.
Yeah, this is tech.
That's just a sticker where they sold it.
I thought it was funny. This actually isn't black. This should have been the. Sorry, continue.
I was just going to say that this was released by LucasArts.
It was developed by them too because you don't have a developer stamp on it.
That was released in 2003, the same year that KOTOR came out.
I wonder if it uses the same style.
It doesn't look like it.
Well,
no,
we'll see.
No, it doesn't.
We'll see.
I told you this one before we started it. This could either be kind of a cool little gem or it could be really bad.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see. So this says that it's black, but it is not the game black. It is SmackDown. Just bring it.
I just bought that game recently myself. That was Just Bring It was the second game I ever owned on PS2.
Huh.
I got it for Christmas.
So this is something that we have been looking at every once in a while when we go into Disc Replay. It is not for this system that we've been looking at it. It is for the Xbox because of the price tag on the Xbox.
It was actually specifically that game's sequel is why I look at it, because the first game isn't as expensive. The second game is expansive on the Xbox.
Battlefront.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Yes, my bad.
I actually have both of those, I think.
I remember playing this at Walmart. Remember when they had the PlayStation up and then this came out and they had it up there? I played the crap out of it, but I never got it. I don't know why.
Bought that at a Blockbuster, just like that other game, the RTX game.
Yeah.
Bought it from there because I was looking for Rogue Squadron 3 on the GameCube, and I couldn't find it. And I found Battlefront. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just try it. And then
It changed your life.
actually, no, it didn't. I enjoyed it, and then Nate from Journey to Comics, the co-host, ended up keeping it. Because by the time I left the band, I didn't really hang out that much anymore after that, and then I never got back from him.
So this is Conflict Vietnam. Global Star Software. I don't know. You tell me.
I'm pretty sure it's a shooter.
I'm pretty sure it's a shooter, but it doesn't show anything. Like it.
Cut off the enemy lines with no way to contact help for young, barely trained soldiers. Realize the only hope for survival is to head in the heart of the darkness. With few rations and dwindling ammunition, the only thing separating them from freedom is 100 miles of ruthless terrain, crawling in the unseen enemies, and filled with the hidden booby traps. Welcome to Vietnam. 14 enormous missions and jungles. Introduce paranoia-inducing enemy AI pits you against foes who are masters of their environment. It doesn't even... It doesn't...
That's very specific.
I think this is an action shooter, but I don't know if this is a first or third. It doesn't show you. Right. But I'm really digging how bad like the graphics look on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The way that the dude's holding the gun like this.
Yeah.
Love it.
And then you've got the History Channel, Civil War, A Nation Divided.
I've always wanted to like are these like battle games like kind of like battle.
This looks like it.
Games?
Fight as a Confederate or Union soldier in 12 of America's most legendary battles, including Gettysburg, Bull Run. Wow, that's pretty neat.
Is it like a shooter or is it like a strategy?
It looks like a strategy. I mean, it looks like it's kind of third-person style-ish. But like it shows them stabbing people and all that stuff. You look through that. I'm gonna keep going here. What we got?
Shooter.
First-person shooter. Yes, it is.
It is a shooter of some.
So the next one, the History Channel, Battle for the Pacific. This is definitely a shooter, but look at how bad those graphics are. It's like a whitewash.
Oh man.
It's bad.
Oh man.
It's not good.
This was released in 2007.
And it's that bad.
It's that bad. When was this released? 2006.
And it has better. It looks better than that one.
It does look better. I just wonder if it was made by the same people.
All right, we're gonna move on while you're messing around with that one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Medal of Honor, Vanguard. Hey, guess what? It's a shooter. Complete, but it's a shooter. Moving on. Ghost Recon.
Boom. Ghost Recon's a good game.
Yes. Complete.
Or I mean, at least it was back then. I mean, sometimes games don't translate well.
Sometimes.
They don't really hold up. Hopefully it does though.
Rebel Raiders, Operation Nighthawk.
So it's like a dogfighting game?
Yeah.
That's a blue back?
Yep, blue back. And it is... Yeah. It looks a lot like the Battlefront 2 style when you were flying around. It looks cool.
There's a game on the original Xbox called Crimson Skies.
Yes.
And,
it's a good one.
That game is freaking amazing.
It is a good one. So then we have Tony Hawk's American Wasteland.
That game got released on the 360 and PS3, I'm pretty sure, too.
Yeah.
I like as well. The Tony Hawk games I got, I didn't play
2005.
Yeah, so it would have been out for the 360 at least.
Yeah.
I did not play any single Tony Hawk game after Underground 2. Underground, I was just sick of them by then.
Yeah, they were kind of...
Like, I didn't even like Underground 2 that much.
So here's some interesting ones. Army Men, Sarge's Heroes 2.
I told you earlier, I played a few Army Men games for like the PS1 or the N64 era, and I didn't play any after that. The old 3DO. Wait, hold on. Wait.
Open that.
I was gonna say that really confused me.
I know, that's why I was confused myself.
The
And then Army Men Air Attack 2. So basically Army Men with helicopter. No, it's pretty good. It looks pretty cool. That looks pretty interesting. Actual Black.
actual black.
Complete.
Blacktual.
Blacktual.
That's a great game. That's a great over the top crazy shooter.
All right, we are dwindling down here into the last 4, 6, 8. We'll say 11.
Pickup section's really long in this episode.
It is. ATV Off-Road Fury.
Is it the same game?
Same game.
Two copies, the same game.
Same.
Is this like open it up? The same game?
Yeah. No.
It's empty.
Empty.
Don't.
Oh. Well.
Hey, now you got an extra case.
An extra case. Need for Speed Undercover. One of my favorite ones. I love these games. They're all so good. Ooh, that one was kind of stuck. It's in really good shape. He must not have liked it.
not as much as you did.
ATV versus or MX versus ATV Unleashed. And this just has some water damage.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? A little bit.
Not complete.
Yeah. It's got some,
MX 2002 featuring Ricky Carmichael. Is that S3K? Yeah.
SBK.
SBK Superbike World Championship. This one feels complete. It is. Never really played it, so I don't really have any comments. It looks pretty cool, though. I mean, you got behind the bike. It looks really good for the graphics.
I mean...
it looks almost like Gran Turismo graphics. I mean, and Gran Turismo graphics, as we all know, on their systems are top.
You know, I'm not into racers, so when it comes to like racing games, I don't know if this was like, was this a big quality release or was this like a kind of a cheap release towards the end? You know, I don't know.
DT Racer.
DT Kirby's?
No. Extreme Tuner Racing just hit a whole new level.
DT Kirby sounds good.
Shh. Why?
Why do I do things?
Yeah. So, another double.
Wow, yeah. You got
Motocross Mania. It's actually there.
Hey, all right.
All right. It's in a bluish case. I don't think the other one was in a blue case.
Some of the PS2 cases do have kind of a bluish tint to them.
Cars. International Championship.
Not complete.
Not complete, but by golly, it's there. It's in good shape.
I wonder how good that game looks on my screen.
I don't know. It looks pretty neat. And then Suzuki TT Superbikes Real Road Racing. I believe my father owned this, and I believe that it sucked. So that is the PS2 games.
Then you got a couple of PS1 games?
A couple of PS1 games here. NASCAR 99. Actually has NASCAR 99 in it. With NCAA Football 99. And then NHL 99.
You mean it had an ad for it?
Yeah. And then it has the game in it with an ad for Tiger Woods 99.
So
that...
Is that all of them?
I mean, other than the cables.
Yeah.
But that is all of them, finally.
So, should we like, I wasn't keeping count. I shouldn't say I lost count. I didn't.
Let's do a count here because I've kind of kept them at the same level. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 5.
So
wait. We have 5 stacks of 9.
So 45. 6, 7, 8, 9, 50.
Is that a double? That was a double. This is a double.
Well, I'm not counting doubles. I'm just counting.
Oh, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55.
55 games plus a system. $40.
Yeah.
Plus 5 controllers. 3.
Hopefully 2 of them work.
Yeah, hopefully 2 of them do work. But honestly, not every game in here is a home run.
No.
You know, by far.
But some of them could be hidden. Some of them could be hidden gems.
Some of them could be some hidden gems.
Some of them could be some hidden gems.
When you sent me the picture last night, I did. I went onto price charting and I just looked up the Grand Theft Autos because they've gone down a little bit since I started collecting.
Right.
Because actually, when I first started collecting, all 3 of the Grand Theft Autos were worth $18
together.
All 3 of them together, and then so I was gonna buy them, but then I realized I didn't realize that I saw it. Walmart, to this day, sells the trilogy on PS2 for $20. Brand new. I don't know why they still have it, but I went ahead and bought it for $20 because they're brand new.
Right.
And now they've gone down to for all 3 Grand Theft Auto games, they're about $14.50 to $15.
Which is a good price.
And then you're looking at $12 for Battlefront. That right there, you're looking at $28. Then you have your black, your ATVs. Right there is going to get you to $40.
Right.
That's just those. And then the system itself goes for about $35-$40 now. So everything else is extra. Even if you go in and you can take those games in, and I can guarantee you, if you go to discrete play, you're not going to get a whole lot for some of these games.
No.
But what you're going to get is a couple bucks maybe for trade-in.
Right.
For store credit. So that way you can build up some store credit to save up for when they get that N64 that you want, or whatever that you come across in there, something that you actually want. It'll may not pay it off for you, but it'll give you a couple bucks for you not to pay it out of your pocket.
To be honest, I don't think that I own any of those games currently in my PlayStation 2 collection.
Mm-hmm.
So what I will probably end up doing is keeping them all and selling the system. And with the system, I can get my money back. So I literally just got how many games? 50.
Altogether, it was I cannot talk. I cannot talk today. Was it straight 50?
No, it was more than 50. It was like 53, 50, somewhere around in there. In the 50s.
We just counted and I can't remember.
Yeah. So, yeah. I'm not really too upset with the purchase.
Hell no, dude, you can't be. I mean, that's a damn good deal because, you never owning the system before ever.
Right.
And you want to actively collect it. You want to play it. I mean, there are still so many great games to get.
Right.
I personally, I did a count of my collection. I want to say I have close to 70 something PS2 games right over here, and I have a lot of RPGs.
See, there wasn't a whole lot of RPGs in there.
No, in fact, I mean, there was the Justice League game.
Yeah.
And
which really interested in playing that now that you read it to me and.
Right. But I just went hog wild for the RPGs. So I haven't really been I'm not really big into shooters or sports or racers. So it's you look at my collection and it's gonna look very different because, for me personally, I might not have gone for that lot because of how many racers there were, how many of the sports that there were.
Now I will say this: the sports games will probably disappear because I am not a sports player at all.
Well, I mean, and even then, it's okay, it's just different preferences, different things. You are building up some pretty interesting games.
Yes.
And then I mean,
who knows? Maybe we're gonna pull these games out, and we're gonna play Justice League Heroes, and we're gonna be like, all right, I gotta get this game because it's amazing.
Right. Well, and it's not like it's that hard to find. I've seen it
right
now. One of these days, I want to do, and maybe it may be not so much for you. I don't know. Maybe you could probably look at it because when you're collecting, sometimes you take risks.
Yes.
It's as far as what is a good game.
The silence says it all.
For me, I've been very, very lucky where I haven't had too many games that I've bought that I played it and went, I shouldn't have bought this.
Right.
I have one major one. And We're definitely going to talk about that maybe in another episode.
Okay.
I want to like really dive in to how much of a disappointment that game was to me.
Right.
I'll tell you what it is off air, just so that way the curiosity doesn't eat you alive.
Okay.
But we do have some news to talk about.
Let's hit the news.
Okay, so Nintendo's killing it with the Switch right now.
You know what, man? I'm so happy as being a Nintendo fanboy that this is taken off.
Okay.
And
So last week, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out. Outsold day one sales for the Mario Kart Wii.
it's awesome. That is
This is a game that was released a few years ago on the Wii U.
That's amazing.
So what you're looking at is that...
I really want it, to be honest.
Here's the thing. You had 13 million Wii U's.
Yep.
The attachment rate for Mario Kart 8 was really high.
Yes.
Very high. Now you're going to be re-releasing that same awesome, badass game to potentially a whole bunch of new people who never played it.
Here's the thing. You got to rear back and think about this. They have taken a game they already have developed.
Yeah.
And it has good graphics. They've put it onto the Switch, which it probably has the same graphics. So there's no maybe minor tweaking here and there.
And it already had, dude...
Adding the battle system, which to me, that's the best thing they could have done for that game, because Mario Kart 8, there's no denying it. Best Mario Kart that I've played.
Yes,
and I know that you've said the same thing. But I specifically mentioned this to you. There's no battle mode. Now there is.
And it's online.
And it's online. Good for you, Nintendo.
So Nintendo's killing it with the Switch. They can't keep them in stores.
No.
I haven't seen a single one in stores in our areas. I keep getting updates saying, "Hey, we have them now."
GameStop has the boxes out for you to be able to pick it up and purchase. Now, I don't know how GameStop runs it now, but before, if there wasn't a box out, like an empty box out, they don't have it.
Yeah.
Or they have it. So if there's a box out, they have the system for it.
Right.
I don't know if they still do that, because I see at least 6 boxes every time I walk through GameStop. I saw it yesterday when I was...
I know that I've been seeing, updates saying, they've been getting them, but they're still having an issue keeping up with demand. Of course, we talked about last week about how they canceled the NES Classic at the height of its popularity.
Yeah, why?
Like they said they don't have the resources.
But
we're getting a new Nintendo system this summer.
yes, and what system would that be?
The new 2DS XL.
The 2DX XL. Nintendo.
Now,
You make good moves and then you do this.
it's question. Okay, so check it out. This isn't all bad. Because so the original 2DS is like the little wedge. It looks like a wedge of cheese, or like the top of an axe. And from what I understand, it's actually relatively comfortable for people with big hands,
Right.
And also for kids. And that design makes it to where kids can't snap the damn thing and break it.
Right.
They were looking for something for a younger kid.
Right.
This one is being looked at as someone who's looking at getting into gaming. All right, so basically what they're doing with this is that they realize that 3D gaming never took off. There's a large portion of the audience doesn't even use the 3D.
I don't. I check it out for a moment and then I'm like, that's cool. Off.
I'm the same way. I'm exactly the same way. Okay, so this console is coming out in July and is priced at $150.
It's a good price.
New 3DS XL
$199.
is $200, so it's $50 cheaper. So you can get this and a game for the price of just getting the system.
Right.
All right. So what this is the new 2DS XL. So it has the new 3DS engine and stuff in it. So it is a super powered. It is that same thing, just
And it has a C stick.
And it has a C stick, and it has the extra buttons. I actually do. I have some pictures, or did have. I don't know if I still have them up. Yep, it's right here. I have them on my phone. I was going to show you because I don't know if you have kept up with it at all.
I haven't kept up with it. I mean, Not really. I got a new 3D.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yes.
because it obviously this is not a product. This is a product for someone who has never bought one yet. You know.
I will say this about the 2D version. You can get new skins and stuff for it.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that portion of it. That's really cool. Can't really do that with the 3DSs, but
Yeah. Somehow I got disconnected from my Wi-Fi.
your Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So like I'm trying to load up these pictures so we can see it. There we go. There's one. Just swipe over to.
Maybe.
Maybe if it'll work.
It looks just like a 3D 3DS.
It kind of does, but it's a little bit more like smaller. The screen for the new 2DS XL, it has the bigger screens for the new 3DS XL.
Right.
It's because that's one thing the original 2DS has a much smaller.
Right.
Has a much smaller.
It was because it was all one. Both screens were
Right.
on. It wasn't a flip down
If
like
you
this.
scroll all the way back the other way, they have all three current models.
Yeah.
Well, that is okay. So that is some of them.
This is a new 3D.
They
There's a 2DS XL.
yeah, and then right there,
There it is.
There's 2DS, new 2DS, and new 3DS, all sitting next to each other.
It looks like it's a little slimmer
Yeah,
if you look at
It
like
does.
the actual plastic size. But yeah, it looks good.
people are questioning this move because they're like, why stop the NES thing and bring this out when the 3DS is obviously on the way out? Nintendo has not said that at all. They are like standing firm that there is a market for Switch, then there's a market for 3DS. They're not giving up on 3DS yet. The reason why they've said it is because they say 3DS is more portable than the Switch. Even though the Switch can be taken portable,
I
they
agree.
say that the 3DS can be easily put in your pocket and you can go.
Right.
And so for the time being, I don't think 3DS is going to go away. I think we're going to have a transition.
I think so too.
Where it's almost 3DS is probably near the end of its life. How many different versions of any other Nintendo handhelds have they ever created throughout its life? A lot.
A lot.
We are looking at, you had the original DS, you had the DS Lite, then you had the DSi, you had the DSi XL, then you had the 3DS, then you had the 3DS XL, you had the
Well, didn't the 2DS come out before the?
No.
Oh, really?
no,
Okay.
because then they had the 2DS, and they had the new 3DS,
Yes.
and the new 3DS XL.
XL.
Now they have the new 2DS XL. It just like same with you had the Game Boy Advance. You had the Game Boy Advance SP, Game Boy Advance SP 101, Game Boy Micro,
Yep.
Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Light, which we never saw,
No.
and then you had Game Boy Color. It was so many different variations
Yep.
of the different
They
systems.
really drag out the life of each one. I'm not saying dragging out as being a bad thing, but they really extend the life of those systems by releasing a new, updated version of it. It's a little better, and it plays all the old games.
Yeah.
So
And of course, that new 2DS will be able to play like the Xenoblade
yeah,
one that is only available on that you can play on the new versions of the new 3DS,
Right.
2DS because of it takes advantage of the enhanced software
right.
that is on those systems, or hardware, I should say. Now, I really do think there's going to be a transition period where Switch is going to take the spot of both, like its console market and handheld market.
I agree.
I think that's good. I don't necessarily think they're going to, and once they get the Switch out there in enough hands, I don't think they're going to care enough that, since they've been relying so much on the 3DS to carry them through this console generation.
Right.
Since
Oh,
the
yeah.
Since the Wii was such a flop, if they can, they have 60 million 3DSs on the market. They are hoping and praying that the Switch will reach Wii level numbers, and how they
At the end of this year.
well no
Well, the Wii,
overall.
the Wii, yeah.
The
overall.
original Wii, like they sold over 100 million units. Now, how they think they're going to get that is not necessarily by having one Switch per person. They're in their minds, they're like, the Switch is going to be such a viable thing of a home console / take on the go that households will probably have more than one.
Kind of like my household has 2 PS4s.
Yes, they're looking at that and they're thinking about that, and even so much with like, they either do have it out now or they're going to have it out, where you're gonna have dock.
Right.
Where if you buy the box, you get the dock, but then you can buy the dock separately eventually, which is $90.
They said that yeah.
And so it's not. I don't think it's out yet, but it's coming out soon. Where you'll be able to just go out and buy the dock by itself. So that way, if you wanted a dock for your mom's house, where you're gonna be, where you have a room, or if you're in college and you have your dorm, and then you go home for the holidays, you don't have to pack everything. You just take your Switch. You have your dock at home. Different ways you can think about how that works out.
Nintendo's likes their accessories. Let's just we can start from the beginning and work our way up, and you can see the trend.
Definitely, I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. I know that the system isn't as powerful as we probably all want it to be, but it was never with Nintendo. They've definitely proven that they always try to do the most with less.
And they do. That's not even like they do.
Like they usually do, except for the Wii U, which
they do.
I don't think the gimmick of the Wii U took off as much as they wanted it to.
Yeah.
Where it didn't carry it. Here, the gimmick where you can take your games with you, and they look almost as good.
Yeah.
As stuff that's running on PS4 or Xbox One.
It's hard to, even when you undock it, it's hard to see the difference because you're talking a smaller screen, so the resolution, your eyes are looking at it like it looks the same.
Playing with Rob Switch, playing Zelda looked phenomenal.
Yes.
Of course we were playing on the Wii U, and
love that game.
Dude, it's a great game, and the Wii U looked fantastic.
It did.
And then you go on the Switch, and it looks just that little much more, that little bit much more detail, and of course that was the first time that you saw the game.
Yeah.
So you were actually a little underwhelmed by the graphical capability of it.
Yes and no. I mean, I know Nintendo. I mean, Nintendo fanboy. So I know that they're not ever going to be like, we got everybody else beat. It is, here we are, we're at, the levels that last generation and this generation, we're right in between. That's where they always shoot for. They don't want to be the best. They don't want to have worse graphics or the same. They're right in the middle.
They always do something unique because I've seen the videos online where they're like, this is what Ocarina of Time would look like in Unreal 4 engine.
Yeah.
And it looks like, whoa.
Right.
Crazy. And it's like, Nintendo's not going to do that.
No.
They shoot for artistic style. When I've actually heard people say, oh, that's just an excuse because like the graphics aren't good enough, so they settle for this artistic style.
No.
It's almost become their shtick, where it's like, if you buy a Zelda game and it doesn't have a certain look to it that is unique to itself,
yes,
it doesn't feel right.
You're 100%, because name one Zelda that looks the same as the other one, excluding the A Link Between Worlds.
That and your stuff that, like, that's a pseudo sequel.
It is.
And then you have Majora's and Ocarina, which is that way. And then
but they're the same. They're the same style of play because they're supposed to be in the same universal line.
Same with the Wind Waker, with the Toon Link and that style.
Right.
Aspects. Those carry over to the mobile games.
But there's always, as you say, like so-called a niche to it. It's not, hey, this is Zelda. You know what Zelda looks like. This is Zelda, but a new little twist to it. Every time.
Just like Breath of the Wild has its own unique look and feel about it.
Oh man.
Like I loved how
I like how the Hyrule symbols change almost every game.
Yeah, I also running through the fields of grass in Breath of the Wild, and how like you just see like they don't put detail on every single blade. But they're there. They're all there, and they're all moving. Yeah. And then it blends into where it's almost like a mixture of cell shading.
So I have a little quick thing about that. How often did you actually use your horse?
You know what? It was a long time into it until I finally figured out that I could actually keep a horse.
Right, but it's still just even in general.
I didn't use it very often until I got to a point where it's like, I need to get from here to here, and then since you can only keep your horses at certain ones, like I would go periods where I would use it to get places, and then after that I wouldn't use it for a while.
So, I rarely use mine. Even if I looked at it and I would fly, I would do the fast travel to the closest tower and parasail to it. I hardly ever use my horse. The only time I actually got my horse is because it was Zelda's horse. And I got a mission for it. So I went out and got her. Just because. And then I finished the game with Zelda's horse because, I mean, why not?
Right on. Well, okay, so we had our big pickup thing. We have one more news story before I move on. I almost forgot about it. And so Xbox Scorpio is coming out this year.
Right.
Apparently the dev kit has a frame rate counter mini screen on the system. So you can see your frame rate.
On the actual console?
On the console.
Why? Okay.
There's a picture of the dev kit out there.
Why does that matter? I mean, as long as you're pushing the 60 now, I'm good. What? Why?
I think it's just for devs, honestly. Just that way they can get a quick look. If they're playing on the TV, they don't have to have like playing it through a monitor hooked up to a thing. I don't know. But anyway, there's a rumor going around.
I love rumors.
2018. Have you heard about this?
I don't know. You haven't said anything. You just said 2018, so I know things about 2018.
Scorpio's coming out this year, this fall.
Mm-hmm.
New Xbox. It's gonna be the most powerful console on the market.
It's gonna be huge.
By far. It'll be the most powerful console ever made by this point, blowing the PS4 Pro out of the water.
So they say.
No, it has been proven already.
Already proven? Okay.
Yeah. This thing is going to be able to do true 4K gaming, and the PS4 Pro cannot.
Right.
Xbox is coming out swinging with this one. There is the sort of mindset, if you will, that the Scorpio is kind of like the next gen ish
bridge. I think we said it was almost like a bridge.
A bridge, yes, but okay. What I mean by that is that they're not looking at it in a range of at the next numbered Xbox console, next generation console. They're looking at it as, let's make this generation, let's make it more like incremental, kind of like phones.
Right.
You have the iPhone 4, then you have the 4S, and then they have the Xbox One, the Xbox One S, and it's like, if this is like the next step up, what I'm thinking is that it's gonna be based on the same architecture, so it's gonna be able to play all the old Xbox One games.
Right.
100%. So backwards compatibility is all built in. The rumor is 2018, next generation PlayStation.
Huh.
Now, there's a thing here, okay? Just last year they said PS4 Pro, the definitive way to play PlayStation games. And then 2 years later, PS5. But why are they doing it? Why would they do it?
Why?
Because Xbox is forcing their hand.
Yes.
And really the PS4 Pro would be looked at as a complete gaffe. Because they said, we're going to do it. And then Xbox is like, look at what we're doing. And PlayStation's is like, oh, we've already got this thing in development.
Oh, we've got this thing almost completed.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally getting ready to be boxed and shipped.
I honestly firmly believe, and I could be wrong, but I honestly think that they were ready to unveil the PS4 Pro at E3.
Oh, yeah.
And then Microsoft pulled that out, and they're like, we can't talk about it. Because they did that weird thing with that I can't remember that zombie game, where they premiered it earlier in the show, and then they showed gameplay at the end.
Right.
It's almost like I kind of feel like they did the gameplay at the end because I thought that was going to be like the big reveal for the PS4 Pro.
I think
they didn't do it. It's really weird because they've already announced like Last of Us 2, and a bunch of other games coming out for the PS4. And
Maybe.
I see the rumors going around that Sony might be going ahead and pulling the trigger, and they're on top right now. PS4 is on track. They've now announced they've sold over 60 million PS4s.
It's great.
And the Xbox did no longer announces their sales. They haven't since 10 million.
Right.
But if you use data, if you go online and start looking at data, there's certain websites that you can compile to say they've sold around 26.5 million units of the Xbox One.
Still not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. I mean, the Xbox is doing fairly well. It's just a distant. This is almost like when you had the PS2 era. The PS2 was like, and it got a year in advance.
And it never stopped.
It did not stop.
It was a rocket ship.
The Xbox and the GameCube didn't stand a chance.
No.
And then you had, unlike the last generation where you had the 360 and the PS3, where this 360 got a great big leap. PlayStation sort of stumbled out of the gate, and it was like running, and eventually it kind of caught up, and then it stumbled, and Xbox kind of caught up to it, and then Xbox won it by a nose,
Right.
And really, and it's just a technicality of like 500,000, it's like 500,000 units sold more, and it's like you start crunching numbers like that, you're like, how many of those Xboxes were second or third systems? Right. How many PlayStations were upgrading to the Slim or second Slim?
Right.
How many were upgrading to the special edition Xboxes? It's the numbers range very, very. This one's different. PlayStation is just kicking ass.
Yep.
And really, that has become the default place to play for this generation of games. There are people who are loyal to the Xbox, and more power to the Xbox this generation because they are focusing on their base. They're focusing on the gamers.
I'm waiting for you to finish.
And I have an article.
Okay, in between the article, do you think that them announcing the unable to trade games amongst Xboxes,
used games?
Right, the used games, do you think that was the turning point? Because I feel that if they had not announced that, that this wouldn't be we've sold 60 and you sold 25. It's going to be, we're looking at 30 and 30 here, or 60 and 60. You're going to be
probably
because
40, 40.
Everything that's happened, and it's undeniable. After the first year of Xbox, when what's his name got head of Xbox? Phil Spencer. When Phil Spencer come out, I don't own one, but I tell you what, I respect the man 100% because he is like, you know what? We were wrong. We know we're wrong, and we're fixing it now. And he has just been coming out, fixing stuff. You want it? You got it. You want this? You got it. You want this? You got it. And he's not faltered. With each one of these things, we're going to do it. They do it. It's like them forcing to do the reverse compatibility. That was a bitch because it wasn't designed for that. So they had to do like a whole virtual console to work with the current console to be able to read the discs that from the last generation.
And it's weird because it doesn't even read the discs. It knows it knows what game it is, but it just downloads that game off the marketplace. So they have to put each and every one of those games.
But it only reads the code.
Yes. It's a verification.
Yeah, it's all it is.
It works just like any other PS4 or Xbox One game where it installs. Now, see, I agree with you 100%. The debut of the Xbox One, where it was online only, where it was no used games, that messed, and that was Kinect, has to be plugged in all the time.
Yep.
That messed it up, and then they had to correct the ship, and it wasn't anything that they could really correct too much until they got into it, and then they said, okay, they stopped putting Kinects in with the bundles. Now the Kinect is almost
gone. You don't really hear much about it.
No, dude. When you buy an Xbox One S, it doesn't come with one.
Nope.
In fact, it needs an adapter to even use it. Apparently, the Scorpio, you need an adapter to use it, and those adapters are getting more and more scarce to come by. And you have to buy them.
Right.
Originally, when they launched the One S, if you applied, they would send you a free one.
Huh.
But now they're like $40 to get one.
Huh.
And so it's like, to use the Kinect, it's almost like you have to pay more to use the damn Kinect, if that's what you really want. And so, one by one, he has started a trend at trying to turn that whole brand around. And they're in a situation like Sony was when they were fighting from behind after being on top, just like the 360 was. Even though I told you they won by this hair of their chin,
yeah,
the default place to play online was Xbox.
Yeah.
At least that's the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation came from behind, and I played on PlayStation Online. I had like next to zero trouble playing online. Where on Xbox, it was always having troubles.
Right.
What I wanted to say about the whole thing is that I have the list of May PS Plus and games versus games with gold.
Okay.
So we're gonna.
We haven't done this in a while.
No. We haven't done this in a little while. This is available all for the month of May. Of 2017. So for PlayStation, you have, this is for PS4, Tales of the Borderlands. So it's the Tales. Of course, you have like.
I have the Borderlands collector, or the edition. Okay,
so Tales from the Borderlands. That is the guys that make the Walking Dead Telltale. It's this is like full on story mode in the Borderlands universe.
Right.
So it's not a shooter at all, but you're just diving in. And from what I hear, this game is super funny. If you're into the Borderlands universe, you get a lot of the jokes. It's goofy.
It's a great game.
U.S. only, Abzu, A-B-Z-U. And then in Europe only, Alienation. Then I do believe these two are for the PS3. Blood Knights and Port Royale 3. And then for the Vita, we get Laser Disco Defenders.
Yes!
And Typewriter. Which, that sounds like an R-Type game.
It does.
Yeah, I don't know if it is one, or if it's just like a spiritual successor. Anyway, so there's that. Over here with Games with Gold, of course, with Games with Gold, you get 2 Xbox One games and 2 Xbox 360 games, which are all reverse compatible with the one.
Right.
So your 2 Xbox One games are Guyana Sisters Twisted Dreams. That is an indie game.
Right.
Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris. Then your 360 games are Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2 and Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga.
Wow.
And
the Lego one those are all good games.
Yes.
Lego makes great games.
And, we didn't talk about last month, and you guys can't get this anymore, but I just want to say this really quick, because Xbox killed PlayStation in this one. They killed them. PS Plus games for April were Drawn to Death, which actually, Drawn to Death, that is made by the same guy who's made Twisted Metal and God of War.
That was actually a really cool game.
That was that one game where it's like, it was like a shooter game that is completely on like a drawn paper.
Yeah, it's that game is actually really cool. It's 4-player online only.
Yeah. And
you dive in and you fight each other.
Yep.
That's what it is.
But all the art style is like, it is like some dude
drawn on
some kid drawn
in high school
on like a notebook paper, and so therefore they're like, I saw that trailer for it, and it's like completely limitless what they can do.
It's amazing. That is a really cool niche game. It really is.
Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time.
Yes.
Invisimals, The Lost Kingdom, and Alien Rage. Those are your 2 PS3 ones. 10 Second Ninja X and Curses and Chaos are your Vita ones. So, what was Games of Gold? Launch game for the Xbox One, Rise Son of Rome.
Oh, wow.
Now, that's a short game. I beat it in like 5-6 hours. Very, very repetitive. A lot of fun. Holy crap, that game is fun and gory. And honestly, that was like one of the first games I played on the new generation that made me go, this game looks fantastic. Like, the graphics on that game are crazy. The Walking Dead Season 2 for your Telltale.
Oh, wow.
And then your 2 Xbox games are Darksiders.
It meant 360, yeah.
Is that what it said?
You said Xbox. That's what I said.
these are the 360 backwards compatible for Xbox One. Darksiders and Assassin's Creed Revelations.
Oh, man. Revelations is a phenomenal game.
Yeah.
And Darksiders is a good game, too. But
yeah.
But
they
smoked them.
They're doing some good stuff here.
They're doing good stuff.
Here at the very end here, we're kind of like wrapping up. We kind of went long with the pickups.
Yes. Sorry about that.
I wanted to review Mass Effect Andromeda because I beat the campaign. I beat the story. And last week we did our top 5 disappointing games of this current gen. 5 that didn't, and I made it 5 on both.
Right.
Okay, so if on this hand it's didn't, and this hand did disappoint, it's starting to lower on the disappoint. What I mean by that is that it's actually starting to get away from that 5 spot, because I really enjoyed the story in the game as much as I had gripes with the pacing.
Right.
The overall story is great. When it's great, it's great. When it falters, it kind of falters. Not crazily, but literally. And I'm trying not to be too spoiler because I know you're still going to play it.
Yeah. That's right.
There's nothing here, 100%, that ties it in with the original trilogy, as far as what affects the story.
Okay, but I feel there's a but coming that I have to discover on my own, because I know that you've kind of teased me a little bit of like, there's some stuff.
If you played the original trilogy, there's stuff that happens, and there's stuff that happens.
yeah.
And in this game, there's stuff that happens too, but there's parts of the ending part of the game that I really liked it. It was kind of cliche in spots, but I'm fine with that. I don't care. I love the crew. So you have 6 party members, right?
Right.
And 6 crewmates that join your team
that you can take out.
So basically the whole fighters, there's 7 of them, but then you have a pilot, and then you kind of have a co-pilot / analyst,
and
then you have your AI, and then you have the doctor of the ship, and then you have the engineer of the ship. They give every single one of those characters complete side stories and characterization. Whereas, so Mass Effect, you engineer Adams. Okay, Adams is a Mass Effect 1, and you talk to him, and you have one set of dialogue sets that you have with him throughout that entire game. And then maybe one extra line for Tali. Then in 2, he's gone. He's not there, because he's not Cerberus.
Right.
In 3, he's back, because he worked on the original Normandy, and now he's here retrofitting this Normandy. And you have your initial intro conversation. Then you have maybe another one. And then you have another one if you get the other 2 engineers from Mass Effect 2.
Right.
Because you can choose to get them or not. And then Tali is on board. And then basically when you come around, he'll just say like one-liners or something. So like you don't get a whole lot of characterization for him.
Right.
So in Andromeda, every single person on that ship, they interact with each other. So like if you're walking to the ship, people will like be talking to each other over the comm.
So it feels more like a family. That's what you're getting at to me. It's a family.
Remember
because
what we talked about with Inquisition, when you're running around and everybody's talking to each other.
It's a family.
It does that too. They interact with each other. They talk to each other. They piss each other off. You know.
That is one of the great things about the BioWare now.
Yeah.
Has made that stuff so great. They've really, and I think that they took the whole banter from Inquisition, which we always refer to because, that's really where you really get a really good in-depth amount of banter. You really do. It's not like, you walk and they say it every once in a while. It fills the characters out. Right. But I feel like they've taken that, everybody likes it, and they've incorporated more into Andromeda, which is excellent. They even do it in the multiplayer.
Yeah.
The characters will banter back and forth.
That's cool. We played we played one round of multiplayer together.
Yes.
And
two.
Well, what I mean is that we did one night.
Yeah, we did one night.
We played a couple games that night. A lot of fun. It's it was a little rough by ourselves starting off because I had nothing.
And now I have my baby.
You got the Valiant.
I got my baby. Oh man, I was last night. I actually went home after picking up my pickups and showered, and it was just by the time I got home, my day was gone.
Yeah.
It's 9:30. And I'm like, well, I should probably still do my mission fund missions so I can get some mission funds because they do put pretty neat stuff on there. And I finally did get Guerrilla Warfare bundle. That is sniper rifle pistol. So, I mean, that's all sniper. And so I played through them. And by the end of the night, I was sitting there. I'm like, I'm done. Looked at my funds and I was like, I could buy 3 packs of the silver packs. Or I can buy one of the gold packs. Now, the gold packs have a very, 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 very small chance to give you an N7 weapon.
Mm-hmm.
This step up, the 100,000 kit, is a really good chance. So I open this up, and the very first card is 4-star N7. And I sit back in my chair, and I was like, no. Flip it open. Valiant. And I literally went, whoa! And flipped over in my chair because that was my gun. Every character, no matter what I was doing, except for when I used the Geth rifle, but when I used any other class, soldier, anything, Valiant.
Because you even used the Devastator, or was that the name of the big soldier that had the big multi-frag grenades in 3?
Yep.
Where basically you had to be shooting, and that's all you did was shoot, and then shoot grenades.
Yep.
And because his class increased the rate of fire for everything.
Rate of fire and the magazine capacity. So it put me up to, I think you got 3 rounds in the first Valiant, and now you have 5. A little less damage. Let me tell you what. I feel like it's as powerful as the top. Like I was using the Lanat, 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 whatever you want to call it. I was using that, and it's like 1,200 damage. I wasn't killing stuff in one shot. This one, I'm killing shit in one shot, and it's half the damage. But it's home.
But then you're cloaking, right?
Well, yeah, I haven't got, and the final cloak thing is remain cloaked for 2 additional seconds after you would normally break cloak. So my little thing with this Valiant here when we in multiplayer was the fact that I could rip off all 3 rounds and an energy drain before my cloak effects would wear off. So I could just boom, 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 and I did a massive amount of damage. I could normally take out a prime almost by myself within the first couple seconds if I had it right on the money. So I missed this baby.
All right, so
sorry.
We're gonna switch it back over to the story because the other day I don't think that I put a hard score on it. I think I was putting it around 8.5.
Yeah.
And I think I'm gonna stick with that because at the time when I played Mass Effect 1, I gave it like a 9. Now it wouldn't be that. The story still holds up, but the gameplay does not.
Right.
Okay. The gameplay falls dramatically in Mass Effect 1. When I replay Mass Effect 1, I'm suffering through it to play the story.
Right.
Mass Effect 2, not at all. I'm enjoying the game tremendously. The story's fantastic. 2 is a 10 for me.
Right.
3, not a 10. I'd say 9.5, 9.7.
Right, but it's because of that. It's you wrapping up your story, your
It's
conclusion.
The gameplay's the best of the trilogy.
Obviously,
but Andromeda has the absolute best gameplay.
Oh man, that.
I love the gameplay in Andromeda. I love the freedom to be able to do whatever you want and load out however you want.
Yes.
Do whatever you want and however you want to do it.
And if you feel that you can't do what your objective is with your current loadout, You just change it.
Just change it.
Just change it.
All right, so I'm gonna give a spoiler. It's not a massive one. It doesn't affect the story in any way.
Massive one.
It doesn't affect it in any way. And in fact, I want to say I even told you this because I found out about it before I beat the game. When you leave the Milky Way galaxy, there are 4 arcs. Human, Asari, Solarian, Turian.
Right.
Okay? You get there,
Where is everybody?
you know?
Yeah.
And honestly, when they all get there, they're like, ah! Everything's gone to crap. Nothing over here is the way that we saw it.
Right.
And somebody has said while I was playing the game that there was another arc that was supposed to take off that we don't know if they did. And that arc was the Quarian arc, which was carrying Quarians, carrying Elcor, the big, slow guys, Hanar, the big floaty jellyfish, and Drell.
Oh, Drell. Big monster!
No.
Oh, no.
The Drell is like...
Are they the spiders?
No. You were... the big monster guys you those were like the Vorcha. The Drell...
Yeah.
In Mass Effect 2, you get a Drell teammate. His name's Thane. In 3, he's too sick to help you. But... my is way in here.
Sounds like it.
But in the multiplayer, he's like a really squishy, really fast Vanguard. He's all green. He looks.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so on this arc, they have all those, right? And we're like, we've heard nothing. We don't even know if they made it out. It's like we don't know. And then so so you beat the game, and when you beat the game, it's not the end of the game.
Right.
It's the end of the story, and you're like wandering around. It's like, oh hey, I found something for you, and you need to hear this. And they play it for you. It's like, shh, like, what is that? Like, it's a transmission from the Quarian arc. There's nothing there. It's like, and then it's like, Sam, can you clean that up? And there's voices telling people to stay away from their arc. They made it.
But they're telling people to stay away.
They don't want to be found right now. Why? Something's going on. The Quarian arc made it. And they don't wrap it up. They just tell you, hey.
DLC.
I'm thinking the Quarian arc may be a story DLC. If it isn't DLC, dude, they have to make another Andromeda game.
They will. They plan on it.
And now, see, this game, Andromeda, was a $40 million budget. I think, if not more. And I'm hoping that over time they can recoup it, for either through the multiplayer or enough copies, because the game was criticized heavily when it came out. It didn't linger like the 3 ending, okay? Right. I kind of feel like that this game redeemed itself a little bit.
Right.
By being a really good game by the end of it, and not just like people were criticizing it for not looking up to par for current gen, not looking like not being what they consider a current gen game should be, when really this is like more Mass Effect.
Right.
And so it's like maybe they're right in that aspect, that maybe we should be expecting more, but we're looking at a dev team that's never made a big massive game before.
Right.
Never made an RPG before. Never made an open world game before. So it's like they're doing a lot of firsts, and in my opinion, they have some mess ups in there. They have some slowdowns. They have some stuff that they're trying to fix. The character creation is complete crap. I'm just gonna say that. They say they're gonna add to it and they're gonna make it better. I've actually seen people who have messed with it for hours to make something that looks good. Right. I didn't have that kind of time. I just said default, and I've never done that. The only time I did that was when I was testing out the new Star Wars 360, and I put Mass Effect in there, and I just picked default, and actually that was the last full playthrough of the trilogy that I did, which was with default Shepard, and I've never done that before. So it looks so weird because that's not my Shepard. Right.
See, but I made my Shepard in the... or not Shepard. I made my... Ryder in this one. And I took my time. It doesn't look great, But I notice I kind of understand where people are coming from. Where like you have to pick like out of the 10, and then you have to tweak out of the 10, and you can't really make your own. It's only a variation.
They're gonna be improving it. They've already improved some of the animations. With the face.
And that's all trivial. I mean, that should not take away from the game.
No, and it doesn't. Some of the voice acting gets bad, and
bad voice acting is kind of funny though sometimes.
Yes, it is.
If it's planted correctly.
See, I felt like the game, there was so much there that was good. That does the good outweigh the bad, and I'm gonna say, for the most part.
Here's the thing, though. In my opinion, like you said, you've already stated that this is a first for them, but this is a first for them, and it did this well. So think about what the second and the third is going to be.
See, and here's the thing: is that like you're looking at the fourth game. Like this doesn't really feel like it's a fourth game in like the series. This feels like it should be like the first game,
right?
Because of the hiccups, because of the troubles that they have with it.
Well, technically, I mean it's what it's supposed to be, because you're going to have Mass Effect Andromeda, whatever they decide to name the next.
And you're right. And technically, it is sort of just a do-over because they're starting all over.
Yeah.
They're just taking... Here's the trilogy, and they don't want to touch it. They don't want to touch that at all. They want to take what was formed here as a base. Your history, your races, your lore, your fighting aspects, all that stuff, all the stuff that we know and love. Put it over here. It's like what was here is here to the end of Mass Effect 2. That this series in Milky Way is ended. But let's take this and let's keep the franchise going.
Right.
And let's go over here with it. Let's forge another path. And by that, there's going to be some growing pains. But I really feel like the game edged out pretty well. It's not my favorite game of this generation. No. That game still goes to Uncharted 4. I'd still think Inquisition was better. Overall.
Okay, yeah.
Overall. I really feel like Mass Effect Andromeda is going to be a game I replay. And I'm gonna replay it as the sister ship to get some different stories out of that. But I'm not going to do it yet.
Right.
Unlike the other Mass Effects where I dove right back in. I don't feel like I can do that right here because of how massive in scope the game is and how just like some of the stuff is just like, I gotta drive all the way over.
So much monotony.
It just, in a way, as I said, the open worlds are cool, and in a way they're not because it takes it longer to do stuff.
And that's something that I'd like to point out for Zelda.
Yeah.
It is massive. But have you ever felt like you've been doing the same thing over? I feel like they did it. I didn't feel like that they'd done the massive world right.
Like they found a good balance.
Yes.
And see, in Andromeda, that's one thing that bugged me was you have different hubs of open world.
Right.
And like you got like so many quests, and I felt myself doing only side quests before I finished up the game, and I wasn't spoiled on when in-game thing was.
Right.
I just sort of knew.
Right.
I knew that once I did this, and I did everything that I could do until I did this, and I did that, it was like, okay, we're not done yet.
Right.
And then it's like, but we have something to be done here soon. And then I had some more stuff pop up, so I did every single one of those. And when I went there, it's like, you sure? Like, yep. I'm sure. Now let's go and let's power through it. And it was very fun. It is a fun ride, and it is worth a playthrough because I think, you jumped into Mass Effect with 3, and I told you enough for you to be able to put together the whole story because you didn't play through the other two, and with this one, I think with the knowledge that you know of the trilogy from what I've told you and what you played, you're going to enjoy the little nods and the winks. Maybe not. Maybe you won't get some of the hardcore.
Yeah.
Inside jokes. But I mean, dude, one of my least favorite characters that's on your team. His name is Liam, and his loyalty mission was my most favorite.
Yeah, you said that on the last.
Okay, there was a video, and I actually came up on Facebook or Instagram today, and I showed Blaine, and it was convenient since yesterday was May the 4th.
Right.
Today's Revenge of the 5th.
Right.
Okay. So during Liam's loyalty mission, you get on this ship, and you end up getting caught right away. And you kill everybody, and some guy's trying to reach somebody on like the security comm. Anybody, come in! What's going on down there? Come in! I'm gonna send someone down there, and I'm gonna kill every last one of you if you don't answer me right now. And it's like your guy answers, goes, "Hey, everything's fine down here. We just had a slight weapons malfunction. How are you?" From A New Hope,
Right.
Star Wars. And when he said that, I was like, yes. And then the rest of the whole mission is just cracking me up because just some of the dialogue choices that I was doing, the interactions between the two characters were really good. This game does character very well, just as most Bioware games do. And the movie night thing made me laugh a lot. You're watching this action flick movie, and your character ends up reenacting like a dramatic character with the pilot Solarian who's dying.
Right.
He's like, "Ryder, I can't feel my gallbladder. For the love of God, you..." Do Solarians even have gallbladders? Oh no! It's like, why? And they're being over the top and stupid. It's a lot of fun. I did the romance with Korra. I actually wanted to do Vetra first, but then I actually liked. Somebody's car alarm's going off.
Yes,
it was. I actually liked how the story of Korra. Some people don't find her really annoying, and I could see that, but she. I liked how there was tension between you and her at first, and it sort of swerved and became this sort of symbiotic relationship of helping each other, and then to an eventual romance.
Right.
I like that, and I like the interaction between the two. Next time, as I said, I'm gonna play as a cis, and do something completely different. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but
You're gonna be a bitch.
I might
just be a bitch on your.
Because I actually was a really nice guy for the most part in this game, and until it like correlated to like the main villain, and then I turned him into a complete asshole to him.
Right.
So I actually like the balance because this game took out the Renegon Paragon thing.
Right.
Renegon
Paragon.
Wow, I'm really missing
Wow.
up. Renegade Paragon. You know what? But honestly, yeah, I would give the game a definite recommend, especially here in a couple months. It's probably going to drop to about $40.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I think it's definitely worth $40.
And we're gonna start seeing a little more announcements of, hey, some DLC and the multiplayer DLC, which just keeps rolling out.
You know, I saw that they posted today. Oh, hey, bud. Yeah, we're getting ready to finish up. Okay, well, we're getting ready to wrap this thing up. I'll be in there to tuck you in a minute, dude. Aww. I'll be there soon. I saw where BioWare said that they went live on Twitch to discuss future changes to multiplayer today. I haven't heard anything about what that is yet, but...
So, quickly on the multiplayer.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm very upset with it because I've been having a lot of issues with gameplay drop.
Like getting dropped from games?
Getting dropped from a 20-minute gold run where your extraction 5 steps away, drop.
That sucks, dude.
And it is not just... There was a time where it took me 40 minutes to complete a full match. I was livid. I just got up and walked away. I came back, obviously, but yeah. I was pissed because it was... You're going through, and they got to fix the servers. We all know EA. Their servers suck. Get new ones. Throw away the ones from the 1990s. Get new servers.
Right on, man. Well, you know, I started playing Persona 5, and I don't want to say anything about it yet because I'm barely
right. Scratching the surface.
I need to beat Zelda, but at work, I went on a little adventure with with a coworker of ours named Matt, and he bought a PS Vita.
Oh, classy.
He was gonna get a PSP or a PS Vita. They had a PSP. He was weighing the both. He was like, you know,
right.
He ended up getting a Vita, and he got Persona 4. And he was not gonna play it at first because he wanted to start at 1. And I'm like, no, It's not story based.
Yes.
What I mean by that is like they're not interlaced story. It's like each one is its own entry, just kind of like Final Fantasy.
Right.
And he goes, oh, so he started playing 4, and he put hours and hours into it already, and he's gushing about it, telling me how much he loves it. And I'm just like, I love 4 too. I really
play.
And we're talking about it, and I'm having such a good time, and I'm like, I'm playing 5 tonight because at this point I beat Mass Effect.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm playing 5. So on Monday, I started 5. So I haven't got to play it since then, and I'm just barely got a tiptoe in there.
Right.
But I did get to play just a little bit of the combat at the very beginning. They start you off.
Right. Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, in the next few times that we get together and talk, I'll be able to talk a little bit more about it. So, I think it's gonna wrap us up for today's episode. Big long episode full of pickups, news, and views. Review of Mass Effect Andromeda. Go get it. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. With that being said, go check us out on all of our social media. You can check us out on Twitter at Game Addicts Play. I've been posting there. I've been posting, sharing some other cool podcasts from the Potter family. I started using that tag, and I started, checking out some of those different podcasts on there. And then, of course, we're on Facebook on there too. On Instagram, I used to put like cool pictures and stuff from Instagram. I slacked off, and I even put a few video clips up there of a little teaser thing for the YouTube thing. I slacked off. You need to get back on that. But on all those, Game Addicts Play, you can find us there. YouTube, you can find us Game Addicts Podcast. Just type it into your Google machine and Game Addicts Podcast on YouTube, and we'll come up. And then, the episode goes live there, and at the same time it goes live on our Podbean, which we're on all podcasts. On your phone, you can download us on your iTunes. You got iPhone. On your iTunes. Oh, you got iTunes.
I got that on.
You get your iTunes, you get your Podbeans app, your Stitcher, Podcast Addict. You can download us there on Google Play Music if that's how you want to do it. You can get us there too. And so we're just all over the place. You want to listen to us, watch us, whatever, man. It's all up to you. With that being said, until next time, until episode 31.
My
recommendation.
We haven't
done recommendation for a little while.
No, we haven't. San Andreas.
My recommendation's Andromeda. I mean, it's...
Yes, it's a no. I know, but he was here, so I was like, hey. So now.
Until next time, episode 31, we will see you then. I'm Brando.
And I am Mike.
And we'll see you next time.